Girl meets boy. Girl and boy fall in love. Boy cheats on girl. Girl and boy split. Girl meets new boy. Girl and new boy fall in love. New boy turns out to be an immature mama's boy. Girl and boy split. Girl meets next new boy. Girl and next new boy fall in love. Next new boy decides he likes drugs and alcohol better than girl. Girl and next new boy split. Girl gets herself a little dog. Now, if any of this sounds vaguely familiar to you, congratulations. You found the right video. Hi, I'm author and relationship coach E. Gray Lorimer. Wherever I go, the number one question I get from single women, and unfortunately from some women who are currently in love relationships, is where are the great guys hiding? So it's no stretch that my new book bears that same title. In addition to the book, I've also created a one-of-a-kind coaching technique that is like nothing you will find on the planet. I've also produced 2 one-day seminars, one that shares the same title, Where are the Great Guys Hiding, and a second one entitled True Love Connections. Lastly, I put together some educational videos that you can watch right here online, all to help you form true love relationships with the right guy in the right way. So come on with me on this journey, and we'll see if we can't answer the question, where are the great guys hiding?
Come to my window, crawl inside, wait by the...
So who are these great guys? It wouldn't be very productive to discover where the great guys are hiding unless we know one when we see one. In order to do this, we will need a practical definition as well as an understanding of what separates them from other men. What are the common characteristics, temperaments, and behaviors shared by great guys? For our purposes, identifying worthy candidates for love relationships would be very narrow and selfish in our definition. Simply stated, a great guy is defined as a man who is ready, willing, and able to form the bonds of true love. Simple enough, but what does that really mean? Ready refers to a man's level of emotional maturity. He has obtained key behaviors through study and experience that are shared by great guys. He's not looking for a replacement for his mother or a subordinate or simply a roll in the hay. He's looking for a partner. In our definition, willing means that he is accepting of the fact that he is ready. Great guys don't feel that they will miss out on something by forming the bonds of true love with one woman. Able. Great guys are fully capable of making wonderful love partners. They don't have a personal issue or life circumstance that prevents them from doing so. They give freely of their immutable resources, the time and energy necessary to form a meaningful love connection. In addition to meeting our definition of a great guy, one who is ready, willing, and able to form the bonds of true love, a man must also display certain behaviors, characteristics, and temperaments that better prepare him as a love partner and enable him to operate from a state of balance and bring that balance to the love relationship. This is critical in terms of being considered a great guy. Some common characteristics shared by great guys you would expect to find: patience, loyalty, honesty. These are examples of those characteristics. Great guys are patient with their love partners, sometimes to a fault. Interestingly, we discovered that some commonly held high-value characteristics, often associated with great catches, just aren't that important. The accumulation of wealth, religious conviction, popularity, these are items that you may have been led to believe are desirable in a love partner, and in fact, they turn out to be irrelevant. In some instances, true love does not favor the rich and famous, quite the opposite. In many instances, they make the worst love partners of all. It wasn't the behaviors we expected to find and found in our great guys, or things that we thought were important that turned out to be irrelevant. It was, in fact, temperaments we did not expect to find that truly make our great guys great. An example of some of those temperaments are vulnerability and empathy. Vulnerability is a problematic concept for most men. In fact, they would rather consider themselves invulnerable than vulnerable. No guy wants to admit, at least to other men, that the 90-pound weakling on the beach getting sand kicked in his face is his best buddy. It is, in fact, a source of tremendous disconnection among men. Quite the opposite. For most women, vulnerability can be the source of tremendous connection. There's relatability and empathy. Great guys seem to be able to bridge that gap of vulnerability in their love relationships. They're not afraid to stand emotionally naked in front of their love partner. That honesty, that vulnerability is often rewarded with a much deeper love connection than other guys ever experience. The other temperament that I mentioned, which was surprising, was the ability to empathize. Now, empathy is a deep and complex emotion which men and women experience. But I want you to know that men and women experience empathy very differently. Women seem to be natural empathizers. They don't have to give a whole lot of thought to the empathy process. They see somebody who is experiencing a negative emotion like sadness or anxiety, and they're able to take action. They're able to incorporate that emotion into themselves, feel it, and take appropriate action to help discharge that emotion in other people without giving it a cogent thought. They seem to be able to do this on a subconscious level, and they're wonderful at it. Their male counterparts, however, on the other side of that coin, are usually pretty terrible when it comes to empathy. They wrestle with the concept. And this is due both to nature and nurture. Now, I won't get into the biology associated with why women have the ability to do this versus men, but there are certain brain structures that just allow women to do this. They're far more intelligent when it comes to emotionality than their male counterparts. But what I will say is that great guys have the ability, it seems, to empathize. Somewhere along the way, they learned this skill set, and they bring it to their love relationship, and it makes all the difference in the world. It truly can separate a love relationship from being just adequate to becoming true love. Unfortunately, time constraints on this video prohibit going into a detailed explanation of what happens to men and their empathetic ability, but I will give you one quick example. Whatever natural ability a male is born with in Western culture, and I think pretty much every guy that listens to this will be able to relate to it, starts to erode away by the time they're 5 years old. And this is what happens, or an example of what can happen. So picture a t-ball game with that 5-year-old boy, and he's playing first base. And the opponent hits the ball to him, and he can easily tag out the opponent or go over to the bag and get the opponent out. And instead, what he does is he allows that other child to get to first base. Well, what his father does is immediately stop the game. He comes running out. He says, "Son, what are you doing?" And the boy replies, he goes, "Dad, Mommy tells me that I shouldn't hurt other people's feelings. I thought maybe his feelings would be hurt, so I let him get to first base." At that point in time, father gives him one of 100 killer instinct speeches. And that killer instinct speech is reinforced by every coach, every leader of every organization, and every other important male that he looks up to from the time he is 5 until he is an adult. Whatever natural ability he had to empathize is eroded away. Now, it's important for him to learn those male hierarchical behaviors and learn that system. And Dad's right. He needs that edge to be able to compete with other men throughout his life. How those lessons of youth manifest in a love relationship for a typical adult male is by not being able to provide an empathetic response when one is needed. An example is you come home from work, you had a really bad day, your boss is an ass, and all you want is to be able to share that feeling with your love partner and have him help you feel better. What you get instead in the typical male response is a problem solving. I'll go talk to that guy for you. Or, hey, you shouldn't really let that guy get to you. He's just not worth it. Far worse, a lot of men will actually blame you for your emotion. Great guys, on the other hand, are tremendous empathizers. They're wonderful at it. They truly help you feel good when you feel bad. They do this each and every time, every single day. And rather than become the source of disconnection in a relationship, as is with not so great guys, it becomes a source of tremendous connection and keeps the love connection strong for a lifetime. Truly what separates great guys from not so great guys. In both the seminars and in one-on-one coaching, we do two very important things when it comes to defining great guys and identifying the characteristics, temperaments, and behaviors that they share. First of all, for single women who are looking to meet a great guy, we provide litmus tests that can help you separate the haves from the have-nots quickly. Unfortunately, most men are not forthcoming about their great guy status. Many are unaware whether or not they are a great guy, and some are motivated by more selfish intent. Often these men will present up front as great guys, only to disappoint later when their not so great guy status is unveiled. Once you fall in love with a man you thought was a great guy, it is amazing how much bullshit you'll tolerate. This is the birthplace of future dating issues for women. That is why it is critical to separate the great guys from the not so great guys early on in the dating relationship. The second thing that we do is once you meet a great guy, is we actually teach women And this works really well for women who are currently in love relationships. We teach women how to teach their men about many important concepts. The two examples that we've already used is the importance of vulnerability in a love relationship and how to teach their men to practice discharge empathy in their love relationship. This truly facilitates deeper love connections and can propel a relationship quickly into the true love category. Remember, there are an ocean of great guys out there looking to form a true love relationship with a woman just like you. Armed with the ability to know them early in a dating relationship, you can help them find their way.
Call